Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my new video on Sion, where we're going to go over 5 tips that I think can help any newer Sion player, maybe just refresh some fundamentals on some older Sion players with a little bit more experience. My name is Lolfit. I do educational content like guides and tip videos. Now, the reason why I wanted to make this video is because I think Sion is a really solid pick in the current moment, providing a true hyper tank in a lot of situations and can be a great split pusher with obviously the new Inting Sion thing. So let's just jump right into the first tip I wanted to go over. Now, Sion, I think the best thing to mastering Sion's kit is understanding his certain skill shots. They're very unique. They have a unique hitbox like this Q, and then the E, and then obviously his R is a different type of hitbox and skill that a lot of people aren't going to be used to by playing different champions. The first one I really want to go over that I think is the most important is the Q. Now the Q has a very interesting hitbox at the end of his ability, because if you can just take a look right here, it has a curved end to it. A lot of people are assuming that this Q is a straight line, but it's actually a curved little scythe, so it's gonna get a lot more hits on people that aren't really expecting it. So look to abuse it if they're trying to run out the long way. This kind of extended curved line is going to hit people a lot when you don't really expect it. They don't even have to be inside of it sometimes, and they're going to hit things. So this is a big ability you need to learn to master, and just get really used to the range. Use it a lot in lane phase, and I think this is going to be a great way for you to start snowballing more matches, because you're going to get a lot of early game harass. This is where Sion really just shows up as a tank, is his early game bully potential with his poke, and you can even cheese out a couple kills on things that you probably shouldn't be cheesing out kills on with a tank in the top lane. I forgot to mention this at the beginning. If you guys have any questions, I'm always checking out the comments, and if you want to ask me any questions directly, there's going to be a link to Discord if you want to join. And that will wrap up tip number 1. Alright, now I'm going to jump into tip number 2. Now, I think this is one of the biggest mistakes that I see low elo players make when they are playing Sion. Now, I want to talk just a little bit about just kind of how team fights work out. Just imagine there's 5 people where this target dummy is, and there's 5 people, or 4 people on my team over here. A lot of the times, what Sions are going to be doing is they're going to be trying to engage fights with their R, and just trying to get them when they are, all they have to focus on is dodging the ult. A very effective way, if you're against a team that is ahead, they are going to be engaging on you a lot. So the most effective way to play out Sion's team fight is going to be waiting until the engage happens and then ulting in, because what this is going to force the enemy team to do is they're going to either have to run away and take a lot of damage from your team that's already in range because they are engaged on your allied team, or they are going to have to just kind of take your stun and take your damage. So always wait for the opportune time to ult when you are looking to team fight on Sion. It is an extremely effective way to peel. Don't always look at it as an engage. If you're a very talented drifter with Sion ult, by all means look for the engages with your ult. But if you struggle a little bit, you're getting dodged a lot in the team fight, and the enemy team is ahead, which is a big part of it, you should never be engaging, I think, with your ult when the enemy team is ahead. If they are constantly engaging on you, look to use your ult for peel, because they're already going to be committed onto your team, and this is going to just really force them into a bad couple different situations. If you have any questions for me, just comment down below. I know this is going to be a little bit what word am I looking for? Confrontational, or where a lot of people just look at it as just an engage tool, but this can be a great way to peel the enemy team. Sorry, that was a little ranty, but that will wrap up tip number 2 for Sion. Alright, and let's jump into tip number 3. Now, this is going to be a little bit basic, but I think that just going over it, I think this is going to help a lot of people that fail to utilize a very large part of Sion's kit, and that is his Q from out of vision. Now, this is obviously something that you see if you watch any Sion people like Tiltarella. They use this a lot. What you want to do is just be setting up a full charge up Q on the enemy champions, and it's going to do a massive amount of damage. Obviously has decent scalings if you want to go an offensive build. This is just a troll build, but it will do a good amount of damage even if you are building full tank. The ways to really supplement this type of playstyle and getting these kind of picks are obviously with control wards and sweeper lenses. These really help Sion set up picks from the bushes. Also, it does not always have to be from the bush. Say I'm getting chased by a couple people from here, I have some team coming up from here. When you step out of vision, the second you get out of vision, you want to start charging up and looking for the pick on them with your Q. So always look to take advantage of when you are ducking into the shadows. It does not always have to be just only from bushes and only in the lane doing the 1v1s. This is very, I see people do it a lot from the bushes and do it a lot just kind of when they're in the solo lane 1v1, but always look to have that turnaround because it is just so much counter engage that you are providing with your Q, and the reticule is not seen by people when they're out of vision of you. And yeah, that will wrap up tip number 3. Again, if you want to know some spots, you can comment down in the comments below and I will help you out with this. I think if you are not doing these kind of picks when you're getting chased, you're really doing yourself a disservice, because I can't count how many times I've gotten a turnaround by just setting these out of vision and then queuing over when they're running at you, because especially when you're in low elos, if you're bronze, silver, and gold and you're not doing this, you're really just missing out on so many kills and so many great one team fights, because they are going to be chasing you hard because they really want kills. All right, that will wrap up tip number 3. All right, and for tip number 4, I wanted to give you guys something special. I wanted to give you guys something that I have found in my personal experience. It's my favorite go-to date with Sion. Now, what is happening in the current lane? I don't have any minions around, but let's just let's throw down a target dummy so you guys can visualize it a little bit better. So let's say this guy, I'm fighting this guy, let's say it's a Jax, he's beating me in the 1v1, he's kind of pushing me in, I'm at a low HP percentage. A great way to turn one-on-ones is to do a feint, or a you kind of fake retreat, which really baits them in, baits out their mobility spell, which is the most important part. And then when you are in a minion wave and they are in a minion wave, which are very effective on the low leveled exchanges, what you're going to do to turn it around is first you're going to E, so it's going to lower their armor, which is going to increase the minion damage even more on top of your own damage, and then you're going to want to hit them with the Q and the W while they're taking minion damage. And then also it's going to be harder for them to get to you because they have to walk through the minions, and then this is further exacerbated by the fact they are slowed by the E, and they have to go kill this tanky Sion that might have a shield. That's probably one you want to wait to turn, because people will underestimate the power of your shield. And this is just going to be a great way to really take advantage of low elo players, because they very, very rarely respect minion wave damage. So this is my own personal trap. Let me know if any of you guys try this out, and if it works for you, let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But always look to do these feints. Sometimes even if you're ahead on HP, but if you run away from people in like bronze, silver, and gold, they'll chase you because they think that they're gonna win just because of the fact that you're running away. So just always do kind of a check of how smart your enemy laner is by just kind of running away and seeing how far they will dive, maybe bait out a couple mobility spells. And yeah, that'll wrap up tip number 4. All right, and for tip number 5, you have heard of Inting Sion, you have heard of OAD Sion, you've heard of full tank Sion, but have you heard of the can Sion? He completely forgoes his axe and he just keeps continuously kicking champions. Now, this is not extremely effective, but you'll look cool when you're attacking people. Usually you just need a certain amount of attack speed where he just kind of forgoes the axe swings because it's too clunky, and all he's gonna be doing is kicking people. Maybe every like 10th attack he swings an axe, but it's freaking hilarious. If you really want to BM on them, don't go full AD, don't go Inting Sion, go the fucking can Sion with full attack speed. Alright guys, thank you so much. That will wrap up the video. Obviously with this format I can't really cover everything with Sion, so I'd love to hear the tips you guys have. For other Sion players in the comments down below. I'm always really interested in that kind of stuff. If you have any build questions, I can help you out with that. I didn't really want to do a tip where I just go over different builds because there's a lot of people that build it extremely differently, and I didn't want to be like, hey, this is the best way to absolutely build Sion every single game, because there isn't really one great way to build Sion. It's really dependent on game state, what you're able to do. Are you able to get away with the Int Sion threat? Are you just needed to be a really big tanky frontliner? There's going to be very different builds for all of those. So if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments, Discord, or I'm going to link my Twitter and whatever. So I'm available to help you guys out if you have any questions. Yeah, that will do it. You guys have a great day, and take it easy.